All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have some news to talk about regarding Spider-Man 2 for PlayStation 5. We just got some new information regarding the release date, as we finally got some confirmation from Insomniac Games. Along with that, we have some unfortunate news about when the game will be revealed next. We have a new update regarding the state of development. We got a first look at how Peter Parker will look in the upcoming game. We got some new details to go over, and just generally everything new in terms of updates, news, leaks, rumors, and generally everything new about the upcoming sequel to one of the best games on the PlayStation 4. So be sure to stick around until the end because you guys do not want to miss out. Also, real quick, guys, thank you all for the submissions for the 70k subscriber giveaway. I posted the winner on the community tab as well as the pinned comment below, and because of the support you guys gave me on the last giveaway, we're gonna do it again. So if you guys want a chance to win a PlayStation 5 and a game of your choice, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, comment your Twitter handle, follow me on Twitter, and tweet me proof that you are subscribed using the hashtag nemohhtv. The winner will be announced at 80k subs. Starting things off, let's talk about the new information regarding the release date of Spider-Man 2. As according to a recent Twitter post from Insomniac Games, they confirmed that the game is still going to be released in 2023. This is of course great news, as it's been quite a while since we've gotten anything concrete in terms of release date details or just news regarding Spider-Man 2. One user that tagged Insomniac Games on Twitter stated, "I'm starting to get worried, honestly. I've been bugging Insomniac about it, but I stopped after they told me it wasn't ready. I really hope it doesn't get delayed," to which Insomniac Games Twitter account actually responded, "Don't, we're making good progress and it's still slated for 2023, showing games take time, effort, resources, and coordination." Now, as all things go, development does take a lot of time, and with this game still not having a definitive release date, they can always delay the game internally, and as long as it releases prior to the 2023 end, they're still good to go for the most part. Now, it could be that they still delay Spider-Man 2 in a few months, especially after they have a better idea of what the current state of development is looking like, but as far as we're concerned right now, things are still on track, which is awesome. The next reveal for Spider-Man 2 could be closer than you think, but more on that in just a bit. For now, let's go over the first official look of how Peter Parker / Spider-Man will look in the new game. This is according to the newly published Marvel variant covers, which, as you guys can see on the screen right here, the first cover is designed by Dennis Chan for Spider-Man issue 3. It's a split view using the Spider-Man 2 suit on the left, and you have Peter Parker on the right. It actually looks like Ben Jordan is trying to do his best Bully Maguire with what looks like is an updated look of Peter Parker using Ben Jordan's model instead of the Spider-Man PS4's John Bubniak. The face of Peter Parker looked pretty good in Spider-Man Remastered. I personally prefer John Bubniak's face, but this new artwork has me convinced that replacing Bubniak with Ben Jordan was a solid choice. Furthermore, I think Marvel Spider-Man 2 will definitely help Ben Jordan's motion capture translate much more on screen than the first game, especially considering that this is a PlayStation 5 title with the graphics completely overhauled for the new game, and the fact that they built things from the ground up with Ben Jordan's mocap in mind, along with Yuri Lowenthal's mocap as well. Rather than updating the face from the previous game, Spider-Man Remastered's Ben Jordan looked pretty stiff and wasn't lifelike compared to Bubniak. The first cover from the variant artwork makes Peter look and feel even more sinister in this game compared to the previous, and just the overall vibe looks a lot darker for the sequel, which is the perfect segue to our next topic, and that is in regards to the overall tone of the new Spider-Man game. This game is going to be much darker than the previous two Marvel Spider-Man games, and Insomniac Games stated that the story is heading into more mature waters compared to the fun crime-fighting web-slinger that we have come to love from the first game, and that is definitely evident from the first trailer. The overall tone that the trailer sets has me scared with hype, with it being in a dark alley fighting at night with the ominous reveal of Venom confirms a more violent confrontation will potentially happen. Now, for those of you who don't know, either don't watch the movies or read the comics, Venom knows Spider-Man's true identity is Peter Parker, and given the fact that Venom is a key villain in Spider-Man 2, combine that with Insomniac's confirmation that the overall tone of the game will be darker, I have a feeling we're gonna see Venom get personal, and rather than target Peter himself, he'll go after people closest to him. The classic struggle of a hero that is unfortunately identified by the villain. If I were Aunt May, oh wait, that's a little bit too soon. That scene still gives me the chills, but if I were MJ or Miles, I would definitely be concerned. Furthermore, in the teaser trailer, we got the confirmation that Kraven the Hunter will be one of the main antagonists, which should bring the overall intensity up a notch, especially with the combat. Kraven is not an easy character to go up against, so things will likely get pretty violent. We have every piece of the puzzle that has this game set to be a much darker and immersive experience. And speaking of the story, we also got confirmation information that the author of Wings of Fury, the Miles Morales prequel novel, joined the writing team for Insomniac Games working on Spider-Man 2, which basically ensures that Miles Morales is going to play a significant role in the story, much more than he was in the first game. Insomniac Games is pulling all of the punches to ensure that the story lives up to our lofty expectations, which is excellent news. Before we go into details regarding the next reveal trailer, we have more news regarding the overall development of the game. This is coming from a live stream with actor Yuri Lowenthal, the voice of Peter Parker in Spider-Man 2, and the voice actor for Miles Morales on a recent Instagram live. It had both actors suited up in motion capture gear, signing an autograph for a fan. The picture happened to also be a Spider-Man 2 picture. Now, it's impossible to speculate what they were actually motion capturing for this, but what it does tell us is that Spider-Man 2 is still in the motion capture stage in some form or another, or at the very least they needed further motion capture footage. We currently have no context of what the shoot was for. It could be that they needed reshoots or that they were working on post-game material. It's really impossible to say, but it is cool to see the development steadily moving forward for Spider-Man 2. If any developers or marketing people from Insomniac Games are watching this video, I would personally love to see a behind the scenes video after the game is out, or even in the pre-launch marketing, similar to how God of War Ragnarok is doing things. Seeing the process of how games are developed is super cool to see, and I would personally love to have that for Spider-Man 2, but that's just my suggestion. Next up, since we're on the topic of game development, I'd like to talk about the graphics for Spider-Man 2. And to do that, we have to talk about a comment made by Gene Park, who performed an analysis of graphics for God of War Ragnarok. They stated, and I quote, "God of War Ragnarok is gorgeous, but the PS5's true potential remains untapped for now." Now, I don't know if you guys have seen any gameplay for God of War Ragnarok, but that game looks absolutely stunning. And if that game didn't tap into PS5's true potential in terms of graphic fidelity, I can't begin to imagine how good Spider-Man 2 is going to look. I can only compare it to Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, one of the best looking PlayStation 5 games on that console right now, which is yet again developed by Insomniac Games. Moving on, let's talk about the biggest story for today, and that is going to be when the next reveal for Spider-Man 2 is going to be. When will we finally get to see Spider-Man 2 again? And as I mentioned before, Spider-Man 2 is going to be released in 2023, and with 2022 already coming to a close, we are bound to see some new gameplay soon, right? Well, unfortunately, we have some bad news, as it's looking like the highly rumored PlayStation showcase was indeed delayed for a reason that might not make sense or something you wouldn't ever expect. Now, for those of you who weren't aware, a PlayStation showcase was set to happen last month in October, but it was allegedly delayed to the investigation ongoing between the CMA investigating the Microsoft acquisition of Activision. The PlayStation showcase was set to reveal new exclusives as well as new updates on first-party titles like Spider-Man 2. The showcase was also set to reveal the remake of Silent Hill 2 as well as Hideo Kojima's secret project. But due to the investigation, Sony pushed it back and is holding firm to try not to add weight to the UK's Competition and Markets Authority's investigation into Microsoft. Now, this news is coming from Millie Amond, the data analyst that previously reported on Spider-Man 2's development, saying that the game was exceeding expectations. She posted on Twitter, and I quote, "The ongoing CMA investigation for Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard has indeed delayed any showcase plans for Sony. Exclusive titles and first-party IP were locked in, and Sony believe a showcase will add weight to Microsoft's arguments in the investigation. Silent Hill and Kojima, who MI reveal were a part of the show. The initial announcement of the showcase was scheduled for the 11th of October, with the showcase taking place the 20th of October, and Sony is holding firm for now." It's worth mentioning that I would take this information with a grain of salt, as this is not official information. Sony did not confirm themselves that they pushed the event back. It could be that PlayStation pushed back the conference to focus all of their marketing efforts on the release of God of War Ragnarok. It would be a little bit weird to overshadow that game with new reveals and updates from current first-party games in development. Either way though, with 2022 practically over, get ready for the next Spider-Man 2 reveal. If I were to guess, PlayStation held off their annual big showcase for earlier next year. I think it's safe to anticipate something in January or February for the reveal event, and then we get something around June or July or even September during the E3 time. Either way, I think it's safe to expect an event sometime soon, especially since PS5's 2023 game lineup is looking a bit thin. PlayStation fans are going to want something to look forward to with a definitive release date. Overall, Spider-Man 2 is looking like it will be one of the most high-quality games from PlayStation since, well, it's looking like God of War Ragnarok. But if the developers take the great gameplay from Spider-Man 2018, couple it with insane graphical upgrades of the PlayStation 5, make the story more immersive, really hone in on the darker tone to set real stakes for Peter and Miles to overcome, and we will have quite possibly the greatest Spider-Man experience ever created. Let's all hope that it releases in 2023 and does not suffer from any delays. But even if it does, this is one I am willing to wait for. But yeah, guys, that's gonna wrap it up with this video. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel with your notifications on, take advantage of the 80k PS5 giveaway. Be sure to use that hashtag nemohhtv. And until next time, this has been Wes, and I will talk to you guys on the next video.